Hello, Maria Davies here again, part 3 of professional presenting tips. Now, in the last part we looked at one of the fears of public speaking, and that was about forgetting your words. Now, this very much ties in with how do you remember your talk without having notes as well, and the whole process of memorizing it before you actually get onto the platform. Now, there's a couple of tips I want to go through. The first one is that when I'm trying to memorize a talk, what I do is I record it into some kind of recording device. So I will write it out, but then I will read it so that I make it in a conversational tone, and whilst I'm reading it, I will record it. Then I will play that recording over and over and over again, all the time, even whilst I'm cleaning my teeth, whilst I'm getting dressed, whilst I'm doing anything else, so that I can start to hear it and to memorize it. So play it over and over until you get to the position where you're speaking along with it and you know exactly what's coming next. That's the first tip. The second tip is for you to break down your talk into key words that will remind you about the segment of your talk that's coming next. So let us say you're talking about a family dog. So the first thing you want to do is say, okay, let me talk about when the dog was a puppy and when we went to collect the dog. Then your key word there may be the word puppy. Then you might talk about training the dog. So your key word there might be something like lead, because it's about training the dog how to walk on a lead. Then you talk about some of the behaviour problems. Perhaps you had issues with the dog when she was growing up, chewing a favourite piece of furniture. How did you stop the dog from chewing things? So you're going through a sequence of different things that you want to talk about. So what you do is take those particular sequences, have a key word, and as I've just spoken about, it would be puppy, lead, and then chewing. So those are three things that we want to talk about, which give us segments. Then you've got two ways of doing this. The first thing is you could use your body to remind yourself of the different key words that will remind you of the segments. For example, on your head, you would imagine that you have a puppy sitting on your head. Then you would imagine that you have a dog lead around your neck. Then you would imagine somebody perhaps chewing on your shoulder. So those are three things: puppy, lead, and chewing. And you would start at your head and you would move down. So you'd have head, then neck, then shoulder. And of course what you can then do is move to the next shoulder, move down to your chest, move down to your waist, move down to your hips, to your thighs, to your knees, to your calves, and to your feet. And you could even use your arms and your elbows and your hands and go starting at the top, moving down your body in your mind's eye to remember as you're speaking each different keyword that reminds you which segment of your talk is coming next. The other way of doing it would be to take a journey through your house. So open the front door and there's a puppy in the hallway. Go up your first set of steps and there is a lead lying across the top of the steps. Then move into the next room in the house, which might be the kitchen, and there's somebody chewing on something at the breakfast bar in the kitchen, and so on. So you have a sequence to go through all the different rooms in your house with a different item that doesn't belong there in each room of your house, again to remind you of each different segment. And that's how you remember your talk when you're standing up on the platform without using notes, and you remember the sequence of your talk and what comes next. And of course, if you couple that with the recording, you'll remember all of the words as you go through as well. And those are ways that we remember how to go through our talk without using notes, that make us look very, very professional indeed. So in the next sequence, I want to talk about how to deal with questions from the audience, and how to deal with people heckling you whilst you're giving your talk, because that's another one of the fears that people have when they're standing up to speak in public. Remember, you can get more tips by signing up at www.laddersofsuccess.com. I'll see you in the next set of tips.